Many things are being tugged. That flag is being tugged right now in many different ways by many different people. And a lot of it is blinded from us as citizens. On the news media each night, we do not realize, and they do not tell you, threats along the borders of this nation. They do not tell you when we lose a Border Patrol agent pays with his life trying to defend our country. That is all kept from you for a particular reason. They do not want you to understand the threat that we are under. But there are organizations out there that want to educate you and inform you of what is going on, and the John Birch Society is one of those organizations. And I encourage you, again, get involved. They have a wonderful website. They have a great meeting coming up on the 27th in Dallas, which is our national convention. If you can make that, it is well worth the trip to Dallas and the fee to go, because you will learn more and you will meet some of the finest American patriots you have ever met in your life. U.S. Border Watch itself is made up of many fine patriots. We have members of our organization from all races, from many countries, and a whole bunch of them from the United States Armed Forces. I will give you an example of one individual. His name is Henry Dale Jennings. He served 3 back-to-back tours in Vietnam. He was awarded 5 Purple Hearts and began to throw the rest of them away. For in the United States Army in Vietnam, if you got 3, they sent you home. John Kerry. He refused to go home after he got his 3rd one. They allowed him to stay, but he knew better than to get number 6, so he just threw the rewards away so they would not send him home. He is a recipient of 3 Silver Stars and the Bronze Star, 2 presidential citations. Those are the individuals that make up U.S. Border Watch. Those are the individuals that make up the John Birch Society. And those are the individuals who have stood in the way of the fall of this nation. And it is you here today that now stand in the way to protect, or stand in the row of protecting our nation today. You as an individual are more powerful than you ever would believe. But picking up that phone, dialing that number, talking to your senator, your congressman, the president of the United States if you can get through, to the secretary, to the switchboard. Those things are very, very important. Don't give up on our nation. Don't stop fighting for our nation. For it is only us as American citizens that will save our nation. Our government is doing everything in their power to give it away. With ridiculous comprehensive immigration reform, the Texas Corridor that y'all are all very familiar with in this area. All these things lead to one path, the path to the North American Union. Sounds a whole lot like the European Union, doesn't it? And in a lot, it is the exact same. If all goes as planned, or their plan, on January 1, 2012, the United States dollar bill will cease to exist. Very few people are aware of that, but it will be replaced with the Amero, just like the euro that is in Europe. Today, the attack on the American dollar, and each day if you'll go on some of the websites, you will see that the American dollar plummets each and every day. That is by design. Once they establish the fact that they have destroyed the American dollar, they will bring forth a new currency. And they will sell you this ideal by saying, look, right now the American dollar is tumbling to its lowest value in history. We already take the peso along the Mexican border. We take Canadian money along the northern border. In fact, I understand on January 1, Walmart will be taking the peso. So they will come forth and say, since we take all this money already, it would be better if we just switch to one currency. Hello, Amero. That will be the death of our nation. Sometime in the year 2015, the United States military will cease to exist. It will be placed by what they call a perimeter security force made up of all 3 nations, Mexico, Canada, and the United States. Again, the death to our nation. For our nation's currency and the nation's military is what produces that country as an independent, individual nation. And we are the strongest nation on earth. We have enemies throughout the world, but our biggest enemy is within our own country, within our own elected leaders. Yes. And it is us that must change that. Amen. Look at the ballot this year well before you get there. Look at those individuals. They may not be that guy at the top of the ticket. They may not be that well national recognized individual. But at the same time, they may be the best person for the job. Because so many of our politicians today are so corrupt, they no longer think about me and you. Many of them, if you ask how many American citizens there are in the United States, they cannot even tell you that. But if you ask them how many illegal aliens there are, they'll tell you there's 12 million. Well, the first time I heard the number 12 million was in 2001. I will assure you, many more have crossed the border since 2001, and we have not deported near that many out. Along the border, things are improving in Texas, but they are not improving along the entire border. There's a number of reasons there's some improvement in Texas, and don't misunderstand me, it's nothing great, but there is a small light at the end of the tunnel, and it's been brought forth by you, the American citizen, and the citizens of Texas, because we have demanded upon our elected leaders in this state to do something. We have told Rick Perry, do your job. He don't like to do his job, but we can make him do his job. As you'll notice, before the election, we had some border cameras all along the border. As soon as the election was over, the cameras went away. They told us they were a 30-day trial, but yet prior to that, they never informed us of anything about a 30-day trial. The National Guard that you have been told that we have 6,000 along the border are no longer there. They have been redeployed to Iraq, so we have no National Guards of any significance along the border today. But along with those 6,000 National Guardsmen they sent to Iraq, they sent with them 300 Border Patrol agents. Their job is to teach the Iraqi army how to secure the border between Iraq and Iran. I asked them that they need to practice securing the border between Mexico and the United States. I want to again say I thank you for the opportunity to speak to you here tonight. For it's the opportunity of me speaking to you tonight and you speaking to your neighbor tomorrow and your grandchildren or your children or your parents the next day that will continue the spread of the patriotism that it's going to take to save our nation. God bless you and God bless your family, but most important, God bless the United States of America, for without it, none of us will exist for very long. At this time, I will move to the question-answer session of this. I'll take any questions from anybody. Ken will throw a hook around me, or Floyd will when it's time for me to go. But at this time, I'll be more than happy to take any questions. Yes, sir, right there in the white shirt.
What's the solution?
What's the solution? Number one solution to secure the nation along the borders is to build a fence along our nation. Is the fence 100% answer? No, it is not. It is simply a tool that can be used. In the San Diego sector, where the fence is now up, drug trafficking has been decreased by 95%. Illegal entry into the United States along that sector has been reduced by about 80%. The fence does work. Is it a perfect scenario to build a fence from Brownsville all over California? That's probably not feasible, because there's some areas you don't need it. There's some areas that won't work, but there are grass and mass areas that will, probably somewhere around 80% of the border, could be secured by fencing. But just because you build a fence won't keep people out. What it does is slow them down, and which will give our Border Patrol agents the opportunity to respond to that area. Today, if you walk across the border and you set off a sensor, unless you do a tap dance on that sensor, you're long gone well before the Border Patrol has the opportunity to respond to it. Sometimes that response time is 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how many agents are on duty in that sector, where they are at the time the sensor goes off. Sometimes they're great distances away. So the fence is a tool, but we do need more Border Patrol agents themselves. Personnel. When asked, each and every sheriff that I've asked, and the director of the Border Patrol, and we've asked, number one thing they want, personnel, personnel, personnel. It is the only thing that will actually and be the sole solution, personnel. But we as American citizens can get that fence down there as long as we let people know we want it. Yes, sir.
Quick comment and a question. The comment is, I have a friend that was in the Border Patrol. He recently retrained to enter the Border Patrol again, but he elected not to because he found out it was ineffective from his standpoint. If he brought in an alien he'd arrested, he had an hour to hour and a half worth of paperwork to do. They're discouraging arrests. The question I have is, since I joined the John Birch Society, I have for the first time contacted my representative and senator on a regular basis. What gets their attention? Is it a personal letter, an email, a phone call? What is it? What's the best thing?
The very first thing, I commend you for that. And I hope all of y'all continue to do that. Don't lose focus. We need to keep the pressure on our elected leaders. So I thank you for your continued effort in that. I have been told, and therefore a long time it was emails, but now they're getting where they delete the emails. A personal, handwritten letter is the best. For some reason, they think it's more personal. But I understand a lot of us don't have time to do that, and you can't sit down and write a letter to every single one of them. That is the best. But then second is the phone calls.